I came here planning to talk about how cool Sui Move is for building financial apps. But given the state of things, I decided this time is better spent taking a step back and evaluating where we are with the whole as Move. So Move is awesome. You guys have probably heard a lot about Move by now, but I'm going to talk about it anyways because it's that important. I'm going to quickly run through how we got here, where we are, and where we're hopefully going. Move is awesome. It is tech that has revolutionized the state of smart contract development and how we think about coding for chains. Facebook is where the project started, and they built a really beautiful thing. Seriously, chef's kiss. So here's a quick rundown. The secret team got together, called Mira, to build a blockchain in-house for Facebook that would create the stablecoin and transaction network of the future. What they realized pretty quickly was there was no purpose-built language to do this. And to really build a network right, they built a language from scratch. I'm not going to get into the details of Libra, which became DM, and what came of that. But the point of all this is some very prominent goodwill emerged. The Move language and its VM. The language reimagined safety design with first-class resources, custom resource types, data scarcity, flexible access control. I could go on and on. I will, actually. I'm going to keep going. Paired with this language, you have such an elegant machine that verifies bytecode at compile time, and you can formally prove guarantees built into your app. And so Aptos, Sui, and a couple others ran with it, and built even cooler tech. And now here we are. But there's another key component to the design of Move, being chain agnostic. In Sam's words, this language is unopinionated. It's built to be adapted to different environments, and the vision is to be the WASM of Web3. More on that later. In other words, we have this universal format for chains to interpret transactions and a standard for developers to use the same compiler, the same VM, CLI, and tooling. Forget the religion. And all of that brings us to the present moment. There's this world of chains competing to onboard billions of people's transactions, possessions, and data. Because the space evolves so quickly, most of them are beginning to look legacy, with language compilation that's messy, slow, and prone to vulnerabilities. There's this new tech, Move, picking up traction with more and more people hearing about it and even trying it out. We have awesome builder houses like these, open to anyone who wants to learn from the best and build. There are more and more resources and support for anyone who wants to build and Move. And this is a huge advance from where we were 6 months ago with Move. But there's still a long way to go. So this is where I think we're headed. Move continues to be adopted in more environments for building Web3 applications. I hope to see a continuation of this focus on developer resources, open building, and commitment to equipping builders with the right tools for safe development. I'm also excited to see the growth of applications in DeFi, gaming, NFTs, and liquidity crowding around this innovation. I think stablecoins and real-world assets play a key role in this as well. And we'll see creative ways for Move apps to build out, scaling both vertically and horizontally, and Sui has already had seed in the future of scaling. Another prediction I have, I think we'll see chains evolve with modularity and adapt to support Move as the execution layer. Healthy competition and pods of some will continue to emerge for everyone in the space. And I think the best tech and building environments will see development aggregate towards them. Another bigger picture idea is eventually native communication protocols are built that leverage Move, bringing the same benefits of composability and object relationships that exist for modules on one chain to modules on different chains entirely. And this is kind of how the WebAssembly of of Web3 emerges. Move is the groundwork for increasingly innovative apps that we can't even foresee yet. Move will become the generic interface that blockchains use to communicate. It's hard to predict the future, but it's exciting to be here and envision how Move can proliferate, making this fundamental provision like early innovations in Web 2 did. So I want to give a huge shout out to Sam, Evan, Todd, everyone else at Sui who has been so consistently supportive of Move as a building block for everyone in the space, recognizing the growth of Move as a mutualistic and positive force. We're really fortunate to have people like this that build and open and advocate for a cohesive vision for Web3. And I was here initially to talk about financial apps, but I think like when we zoom out and we think bigger picture, it's about like how we can all come together as a community and build the best apps for the future. So I just wanted to shout out Sui, and I've been really impressed with everyone who's been building and communicating openly, and it gets me excited for where the future of Move is headed. That's it.
I have to say, I really admire your choice in what you presented this afternoon, how you presented it. I really admire that, and I agree. It is always important to zoom out, especially in situations where, you know, maybe people are making decisions with kind of like a short-sighted mental model. So, yeah, I think it was fantastic. Thank you very much. I know you did all clap, but please give another warm round of applause. Do you want to take questions? Do you have time for questions?
Yeah.
Does anyone have questions? Yeah.
Sure, thank you for the talk. You mentioned that the goal for Move is picking the WhatsApp for the web. Yeah, I said the WhatsApp for the web.
Right.
How do you see that happening? Or like, how do you see the transition basically from like a bytecode language to like a WhatsApp kind of like language?
That's a good question. I think it's really twofold, because if we look at WASM right now, it's just like a text to binary format, right? But somehow it's become embedded into like every part of the internet. And it's not just at the application level. If I'm building an application and I want to more effectively do this transition from text to binary or vice versa, it's also for apps on the internet that are communicating with each other. So it's really become the standard. And it's kind of what I alluded to earlier. I think this relationship between the language and the VM, and then abstraction levels you have above, like the core Move VM, allows apps to really build natively and convert smart contracts to bytecode in a very secure, safe, provable way. But I also think where we might be headed is a place where you have some sort of communication protocol or a way that these chains are interacting and communicating with one another in a much more native way than like bridging right now, where you wrap an asset and lock it basically in one place where there's a huge security vulnerability there. But I think like expanding this idea, we have the Move VM, which designs a really elegant way to call different modules and compose directly instead of copying contract code. And I think as more people adopt Move, we'll continue to grow on this.
Wonderful. Any other questions from anyone else here? Oh, you, yes.
Nice presentation. Right now, free Move is changing a lot, and different moves emerging. What do you wish was improved? What do you most wish was improved with Move as a developer today? Like, what would you change? You could change it up.
Well, honestly, I don't feel qualified enough to talk about like on a VM level what needs to be changed to optimize for like parallelization or improved safety. But I will say, I think resources have gotten a lot better since I started building Move. But I'm really excited to see that continue to grow, to see like huge Stack Overflow databases of support and community helping each other figure out problems. And I think we already see that a lot in like Tsunami's chat, where everybody's like kind of reaching out. We'll always like take a quick minute to help someone with a question, and really like this beautiful iterative process of trying to have the closest thing to perfection in terms of like language compilation and scalability.
Any follow-up? Good answer. Yes. Anyone else? Any other questions? You, yes. Thank you. So I'm just wondering, I agree with all the points that you've made, and I do see the great potential for a future like what you've made. And I'm wondering, social concerns aside, what do you think are some of the biggest challenges to move adoption in the next, let's say, maybe 2-3 years, and then beyond that?
Okay, social stuff aside, I think it's a lot of these things are driven by like the application level, which you can't have that much control over. I think the best way to grow adoption is to like reduce friction as much as possible, kind of like product when you're trying to get users. And so I think a big challenge is bringing developers to move from other ecosystems, especially if they've been building in Solidity for a long time. And, I think if Solidity could go back, they might not have chosen to model everything on JavaScript, but one of the key strengths there is we have a huge on-ramp, a huge segue from JavaScript builders. I think we have something similar in Rust, and as like Web 2, enterprise, production grade repos start to move on chain and think about how to form Web 3 applications, we'll start to see more of an influx of Rust developers who are already primed to be building a Move. But it's also about like having these resources and tooling to make that transition really smooth. And I think there's been a lot of progress there.